Lou Finney. I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association Board of Trustees. I'm also a Coloradan, and I vote. But mainly this morning I'm here to bring the greetings and the support from the UUA Board of Trustees for the effort here in Colorado to bring about marriage equality. Let's together stand on the side of love.
Good morning. My name is Pat Stedman, and I'm a Colorado State Senator. I work in this building right here behind you. And as an elected official from the state of Colorado, it's my privilege and my honor to welcome you all here to the west steps of our state capitol. This is perhaps the most significant place in our state where we exercise our First Amendment rights and profess our beliefs in the public square. And you are welcome here, and your activities here today are protected and most appreciated. It is important that you, as people of faith, come to this location to profess your belief and to stand on the side of love, because you are not only standing on the right side of love, you're standing on the right side of history. Things are changing in our country and in our state very quickly. And I believe that it is not that far out on the horizon when we will see that day when marriage equality is not only the law of the land, but something that is taken for granted and not understood how it could be that this was not always the law. Much as when we think about the case of Loving versus Virginia and interracial marriage. Today it's hard to fathom that that was once a felony, punishable by imprisonment, to marry the person that you love. There is no such felony in the state of Colorado today, but there is still a prohibition against certain people marrying the person that they love. And the only way to change that is to change our state constitution. That's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take all of us professing our beliefs in the public square and coming back to this place again and again. I'm very glad to be with you here today. I'm glad to be here in the sunshine and the warmth, unlike last year when we were here together. You may recall. I hope that it's not that many more years that we have to keep doing this, but I appreciate your support and your camaraderie through this process. In the short term, before we change the Constitution, there are still things we can do, and there are conversations that are being had inside this building and out in the streets and in the towns across the state about what measure of equality is correct. What level of injustice can be remedied by actions of state law that are permitted under our state constitution. And I think in the upcoming session of our Colorado General Assembly, which begins in January next year, you will hear that conversation. And I hope you will be paying attention and very much engaged, because we all need to stand together on the right side of love. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. And better yet, I say good morning, fellow agitators in the cause of justice. My name is Jeremy Shaver, and this is my partner David Claypool. I'm representing the Interfaith Alliance this morning. But I extend greetings to you first from my spiritual home, Park Hill Congregational Church, and all of your partners and allies in the Rocky Mountain Conference United Church of Christ. I do bring you warm and enthusiastic greetings this morning from the Board of Directors, more than 800 members, 17 congregational partners of the Interfaith Alliance of Colorado. I stand alongside you all this morning to reaffirm our commitment to seek civil marriage rights for all loving couples in our state and in our nation. The ongoing denial of both a legal and civil recognition of the relationships of our lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender friends and family members must spur us to action and call us to initiate a new dialogue in our state and in our country. The dialogue we need on same-gender marriage should focus on the civil basis of marriage and the obligation to protect the religious freedom of all Coloradans and Americans, not just those who are successful in enshrining their religious beliefs in our state and federal constitutions. And speaking of those discriminatory constitutional amendments, we pledge to you this morning our support to work together to remove the harmful, hurtful, and detrimental one-man, one-woman marriage definition from Colorado's Constitution. If this is to happen, courageous people of faith, motivated by deep spiritual, moral, and communal values, must take the lead to extract discrimination from Colorado's Constitution. This morning I am joined by my life partner, best friend, and husband, David. I asked David to join me because we want to say thank you. 6 years ago, on September 10th, the First Unitarian community opened its doors and hearts to us for our wedding ceremony. This act of extravagant hospitality, love, and spiritual courageousness touched and inspired us. Your continued witness in the community makes a huge difference for those who have been marginalized, oppressed, and hurt by religious communities and institutions. So thank you for standing on the side of love. Finally, I recognize that as we gather on the steps of our state capitol, our words, our worship, and actions carry political power. What we are doing together this morning, however, is not simply a political act. I am reminded of a comment made by William Sloane Coffin, the late minister of Riverside Church in New York City. He said, "The final end of life lies not in politics, but the final end of life is concerned with the proper ordering of power to the end that it may enhance and not destroy human life. Only a fool hasn't learned in the 20th century that the political order in which people live deeply affects the personal lives they lead." Our task this morning, in the days, weeks, and years ahead, my friends, is to reorder power. We must reorder power so that justice becomes a reality for every immigrant, refugee, single mother, young African American and Latino youth, the child living in poverty, the LGBT soldier serving our nation, and the loving couple that only wants the same rights, protections, and recognitions that their straight neighbors enjoy. I thank you all for being such strong partners and allies in this work. Yes, the political order in which people live does deeply affect the lives they lead. So let us act with spiritual audacity and moral courage to transform that political order. Thank you.
Look at you. Good morning. I'm Nancy Bowen, and lest there be any doubt, I stand with you. As we stand together this morning in support of our values, some of the most immediate, most core values that we share as we try to create the world we dream of. That has a lot of oppression attached that we will need to fix, but today we celebrate that that is where we stand. As Unitarian Universalists, we've been active and openly supportive of full human and civil rights for all people, for all of the LGBTQ community, and we have been doing this very specifically with binding GA resolutions since 1970. So we've been in this struggle for a while. And it's time, friends, to bring it to resolution. It's time to bring it to resolution. We need to be standing on the side of love in that most active way. Sometimes stand is a passive position. We need to get the momentum going in the stand part. This annual day of celebration and remembrance urges us to renewed efforts to secure the privileges and rights of state-recognized marriage for all adults, for all loving partnerships. The personal is political. You don't have to carry a sign if that's not what you do, but you do have to speak of what is most important to you. You have to speak. If it's only to your neighbor, if it's only to your mother, if it's definitely to your children, you have to speak. You have to vote. That's the privacy part. I don't have to see you doing that. I need to see you speak. It's time for us to participate in the leadership of an amendment to the Colorado Constitution assuring equal marriage rights. It's time. I will stand with you. Will you stand with me? Yes. Will we be change we hope to see? Yes. Let's do it.